Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen. You know, if you fish crankbaits, you're gonna get hung up in brush piles. You have to fish them in and around thick cover and heavy cover, and it happens. You just get them hung up. I've got this monstrous tree right here in the back of this pocket, and I got my crankbait in it. It's a lipless crankbait. So what do? Well, you break out what's called a lure retriever, and whenever I mention my lure retriever, I get tons of questions. What is a lure retriever? Things like that. So I'm gonna do a video on what they are and how to use them. Okay, first of all, it's just a gadget that you can drop down your line and knock your bait loose. That's what this is. This is called a something golden retriever. I'll put the name right up here. But this is my favorite lure retriever. I have another one. These you can buy at Bass Pro Shops. These little ones right here. These are great too. These little chains, they hook into your, you know, if you have trouble getting it out of the brush pile, just keep shaking it till these chains grab hold of one of the hooks, and 9 times out of 10 you can yank it out. This one is amazing. Let me go ahead and get this bait out, show you how to use it, or get the bait out of the brush pile by showing you how to use this, and then I'll talk more about this golden retriever, okay? All right. I've got it mounted on an old broken rod with an old Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier. 60-pound braid. I'd like to put a 120-pound braid on here eventually. I just got to find some. But I just push the button, lay that broken rod down on the deck. Okay, you want the line to going towards you, or the line tie going towards you, and the hook going away from you. I'm on the opposite side of the brush pile from where I got hung up in. Okay. Okay, I put it on here just like that, so it'll slide down that line, pull my line tight, and I drop that lure retriever. Right down to the bait. When I get to the bait, I just bump it, okay? Guess what's happened? There's my crankbait. Okay, so let's talk about what all went on and how I got this, you know, how I got this bait out and everything else. Let's talk about the advantages of this type of a lure retriever and the other types of lure retrievers. All right, let me get everything set up, turn the camera back on, and I'll jump on it. Now let's talk about this golden retriever, okay? The reason I love this golden retriever, I found this a couple of years ago. A buddy of mine named Jeff gave one to me, and about a year after that, or 6 months after that, I was trying to knock a lure off, and evidently it was on something metal and it sliced my line. That's why I want to go to some heavier braid. I really need to put some heavy braid on here. I don't like to use the line that comes with it because it's so thick it doesn't go on a reel very good. That's just how I do it. Some people wrap that line around a marker buoy like the one I've got up in the front of the boat. I don't particularly like that because if you ever let all your line out, and that marker buoy will sink like a rock because this is too heavy for it. Anyway, so what you do is, let me use the big thick line to kind of show you guys how it is. Okay, when you put it on your line, you see how this, it's kind of hard to show the whole thing. This little spring or curlicue thing is. Okay, so basically what you do is you run it along your line, and then your line goes right through here just like that, okay? Reel being on this side, bait being on this side, and you drop it down, and you do what I did on that video. You just shake it, knock it loose. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. You got to change your angles and things like that, and shake it and knock it loose. This one is amazing because this big hook right here, as opposed to these little chains, okay? This big hook right here will get an Alabama rig or an A rig or an umbrella rig, whatever you want to call it. It'll get that unhung. It drops down, and this hooks onto the main body of your A rig. Where's mine? Yeah, I'll use this one. Slides down, hooks onto the main body of your A rig, and it will pull that out and straighten out your hooks, and you get your $25, $15, $25 A-rig back. So that's why I love this retriever. Another thing is I fish a lot of bridges, a lot of rip-wrap around bridges and things like that. And you are going to get your crankbait hung in somebody else's stinking fishing line that didn't know how to break the line off properly. So it's just going to happen. So what I love about this is this will go down and grab hold of that fishing line, that hook wheel, and yank it loose. This is just the ideal lure retriever. Now what I need to do with this little broken rod is I need to put a new guide on. I broke the guide off because this thing's so heavy, but I need to change the guide to the bottom of it so it doesn't break off next time. And I just slide this over top of it, reel it in, and that's how it stays stored in my boat. Real easy to take out and deploy and get it all ready to go. This one's about $12 at Bass Pro Shops. This one is $25 on whatever website you can find it on. Not bad. The other types of lure retrievers are, there's a long pole that has one of those curly cues on it, and that's ideal for a bank fisherman because you don't need to, for instance, you don't need to get on the other side. It helps, but you don't have to get on the other side of the brush you got hung into. You just extend that thing out and knock your bait loose and get it back. There's one called a pocket knocker. Now that's a brand name, and but I tend to just take my, break out my sinkers and a big clip and make them myself. So what I would do is I would take a heavy weight, which I don't think I have one in here, but we'll kind of simulate. I take a heavy weight. This is a 1/2 ounce. I would probably use a 1 ounce bell sinker or something like that. And then I take one of my duo clips. Take one of these duo clips right here, and I hook on to that bell sinker, okay? And then what you do is you hook it on, when you get hung up, you get on the other side of the brush pile, you hook it onto the line and drop it down the line, and then when it hits that bait, you drop your line slack and it knocks that bait loose, or you sit there and shake it. It just gives your bait an extra weight on the bill or on the lip of it to knock it loose. Doesn't work every time, but it does work a lot, and it will save you a lot of money. Let me think. That's basically it. I tell you, a lure retriever is a great investment. It will pay for itself like that. These $12 or $15 lure retrievers at Bass Pro Shops, come on. You lose $3, $5 crankbaits, you've lost the equivalent of the value of this thing right here. So this thing will save you money in a hurry. Even this one being $25, it has saved me a ton of money. They're worth the investment, and it's worth learning how to use them. Well, like I always say, introduce somebody to fishing, subscribe to my channel, share my videos across YouTube and Facebook. I ask you to do that every time because this is what I want to do. I want to teach people everything that I know about fishing and everything that I'm learning about fishing, and I can't do it without your help. So if you like this video, share it across Facebook, share it across social media. Remember to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do so. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other one called Flukemaster Reviews, and get out there on the water and enjoy fishing and have a whole lot of fun. Thanks. Take it easy.